The ISFD is the emergency source of attitude, airspeed, and altitude information. The battery bus powers the ISFD battery charger. The ISFD battery charger powers the indicator. After the loss of battery bus power, the ISFD battery charger continues to power the ISFD for 150 minutes. Let's look at the controls for the attitude display. The attitude reset switch resets the attitude. The reset switch must be pushed for 2 seconds to start attitude reset. The attitude 10-second message displays while the ISFD resets the attitude. After 10 seconds, the message blanks and is replaced by the attitude scales and pointer. If the attitude indication is unreliable, the attitude failure flag displays. Now let's look at the controls for the approach display. The approach mode switch controls the ILS information displayed. Push the approach mode switch to show ILS information. The ISFD now displays approach mode with the glide slope and localizer scales. After the number 1 navigation receiver receives valid ILS information, the localizer and glide slope pointers display. Now push the approach mode switch to display back course information. The ISFD displays back course mode. The localizer deviation pointer reverses polarity for the back course display. The glide slope deviation pointer and scale are not shown. Now let's discuss non-normal conditions. We'll return to the approach mode in order to see all indications. When the ISFD is in the approach mode, the glide slope and localizer pointers are not shown if the ILS information is unreliable. When the ISFD is in approach or back course mode, the localizer flag displays if the localizer receiver fails. The localizer deviation scale and pointer are not shown. In the approach mode, the glide slope flag displays if the glide slope receiver fails. The glide slope deviation scale and pointer are not shown. Now let's look at altitude and airspeed. The ISFD altitude function receives static pressure from the alternate static ports. The ISFD indicated airspeed function receives ram pressure from the auxiliary pitot probe and static pressure from the alternate static ports. The barometric selection knob sets the barometric setting. Turn the barometric selection knob to set 30.14 inches of mercury. Now push the barometric setting units switch to change the display between inches of mercury and hectopascals. The ISFD now displays barometric setting in hectopascals. Next, push the barometric selection knob to change barometric setting to standard. The ISFD now displays standard. If there is an altitude failure, the ISFD displays an altitude flag. If there is an airspeed failure, a speed flag displays. If there is a heading failure, a heading flag displays.